The single leg Romanian deadlift is a bend pattern exercise. The primary muscles used are the hamstrings and the glutes. To perform the single leg Romanian deadlift with a barbell, start standing tall with a barbell in your hands, the feet shoulder width apart and the knees soft. Raise one leg slightly off the floor, flexing the knee just a little bit while keeping weight distributed evenly through the heel and the ball of the foot. Brace the core and, maintaining rigidity of the unlocked knee on the standing leg, begin to hinge at the hip, sending the raised leg back until the torso is almost parallel with the floor. Through this, think about loading the hamstrings and feeling this tension throughout the eccentric phase. Ensure the back stays straight and the hips stay level throughout the movement. You may need to think about internally rotating the hip of the raised leg to keep those hips level. Lastly, squeeze the glutes and return to the standing position. The single leg Romanian deadlift requires a high degree of motor control, and the barbell loaded variation is appropriate for more experienced lifters. Regression of the movement may follow these steps, starting with staggered stance Romanian deadlift variations, including single and dual arm kettlebell, dumbbell, or cable variations, followed by a barbell staggered stance Romanian deadlift. This staggered stance offers an extra point of contact for balance while still challenging the bend pattern unilaterally. Next, you could introduce a single arm kettlebell, dumbbell, or cable single leg Romanian deadlift variations, moving to a dual arm kettlebell, dumbbell, or cable variation. Finally, move to the barbell loaded single leg Romanian deadlift for the highest degree of challenge through load. Benefits of the single leg Romanian deadlift include to develop motor control in the unilateral bend pattern, to build strength and endurance in the posterior chain musculature, specifically the hamstrings and the glutes, for a lower intensity exercise prescription when compared to bilateral bending, to challenge balance and anti-rotation, to strengthen the intrinsic muscles of the feet and the calf muscles, to address left to right asymmetries in the bend pattern, or to provide challenge to a client who is incapable of bilateral bending. And finally, the rigidity of the knee in the Romanian deadlift offers greater glute and hamstrings activation when compared to the traditional deadlift. If prescribing the single leg Romanian deadlift to develop motor control in the unilateral bend and the balance required to perform this movement efficiently, place it at the top of a session while the client is fresh. The limitation is going to be movement efficiency and not load. The single leg Romanian deadlift is also a great option to build strength endurance in the hamstrings and glutes if balance is not the limiting factor, but rather external load is. Ensure the client has developed the balance required to achieve this challenging contraction. Slower eccentrics and explosive concentrics are recommended, and the unilateral nature means it's going to be less challenging than a bilateral bending exercise. This means you should position it after more compound or higher intensity lower body activities, such as bilateral squatting or bending.